Hi everybody, welcome again to another episode of Fish Keeping Jamaica. Welcome to my channel. So I am nearby the Donnie Bunting Tilapia fish farm, and I am just sharing with you a video that might be of interest to you. Okay, so Donnie Bunting fish farm has roughly 374 ponds, and I think he added more after I had the interview with him, right? Okay, so it's talking about the whole idea of harvesting tilapia, right? It's talking about the whole idea of how the harvesting process do work out. Okay, so presently pond is actually being emptied with the main purpose of harvesting fish. Okay, now not every tilapia fish pond throughout the world does the same process, right? For Donnie Bunting, the water is actually released in a drain, and it is taken and it is diverted into the river stream. The water is taken from the pond through a drainage, usually through a pipe, a large pipe, and it's channeled underground, right, across the road, right, yeah, across the road, and it ends up into the gully. So what's the significance of this video? I've done several pieces on this space. Why is it that this is so significant? Okay, now we are looking at streams, puddles, and dead fish. Now, normally when tilapia pond is being released of fish, you might have some amount of fries within it, right? Now, why? And how is it that this is so? Because I have spoken about the whole idea of ponds being monosex, well, the fish being monosex, right? And then now they are actually nurtured so as to become food fish. So how does this work out? Okay, so you have some ponds, right? And these ponds actually are not monosex, meaning the fish are not monosex, right? The fish are allowed to procreate. And every morning, as I shared before in my interview, every morning I'm going to go next door on the other side, right, to show the significance of this video. Every morning, workers will actually go in the large pond, 5 foot deep, 6 foot deep, right? Well, probably not really 6 foot, probably about 5 foot deep, right? And they will actually catch the fries. Now, this is a task, and the amount of fries that they will catch amounts to roughly like $10,000, $20,000, $10,000, $20,000 per day, right? Okay, so what happens is that you have some fries, they are not caught. They are skillfully swift, and they are not caught by the workers. And this is an average of probably about 2%, 5%, right, of the amount in which they normally catch, right? So roughly for every 10,000, you might have probably about 1,000 or 500 that is not caught, right? So what happens is that when the pond is being lowered so as to catch the fish that is ready for harvesting, because after a while, these ponds still has to be harvested. You still have to work the process of catching these fish, right, so as to harvest them. They won't stay there forever being broodstock. Broodstock changes over time. So what happened is that in this drainage, you have fish actually being washed from the large pond when they are being released. Now, the fish that are being washed are of different size. Now, this space was recently excavated so as to allow free flow of water along this pathway, which ends up into the river nearby, right? Now, you have some puddles like these, right, which do exist, and you have some shallow streams like this that do exist. Now, what happened is that the fish that is washed down and it surpasses the puddle, or should I say the pothole that is in the stream, what happened is that those fish end up, because after a while this will actually stop flow after a while, right? After a while this will stop flow, so the stream will get shallow and you'll have little or no flow of water. Okay, so what happened is that the fish in these puddles will stay in these puddles. So if there are no release of any water anytime soon, or any heavy rainfall which actually washes the entire space downstream into the river, the fish will actually stay into the shallow stream. That gives rise to several persons, actually like myself, who would actually come by and actually catch a few, right? And what will happen is that if they are not caught, what will happen is that they will die. So you have some persons, they come by with containers or makeshift traps like that one right there, right? And they will catch the tilapia as they flow out, because that is a really deep puddle, you know. And I would not go in that, because on the top of the clay, wow, we nearly dropped, guys. On the top of the clay, you have mud, silt, and you will sink, and it's not a nice feeling sinking in that water, right? So the water will continue to flow. This is private property, so I'm not going to go venture further, right? The water will continue to flow, and when the water stops, in the deep little patches that you might have in the stream, you might have some fish do manage to actually stay there, and they will stay there until another pond is released, right? I'm checking to see if I see any fish being washed, but at the same time I'm trying to be careful not to be myself washed down or rolled down into the water, right? So the water goes down, and you might see one or two fish, right? Here, I think the puddle up there have more, right? I don't want to drop in the water, right? So this is how they practically end up into the wild, right? As the puddle or the deep hole get shallow, because of, you know, we are in drought right now. What you find is that the water get shallow and shallow, and individuals just come in with a net or whatever they have, and they catch the fish, and they are able to start up something for themselves, right? So this is practically how they end up in the wild. And the significance of this video is to share with you that see, I have so much fries right here. Probably you won't be able to see them, but I'm able to see them, right? I don't need any right now. I see some large ones, but I don't need any right now. I think I have enough. I'm gonna go down there and see if I can get some nice close up, so that you can actually see them. I caught about roughly about 4. Yeah, I caught 4 recently, and I shared you those 4 in the last video, right? As you see me come, they are actually moving away, but there's a whole probably about 4 or 5 dozen small tilapia that have been washed down from that space. Now, if I had the time, what I would do, I would set traps at the mouth of this what you call it, a canal or like a space, right? And I will actually catch them. But I'm not too into that right now. I'm not into the mode of getting wet. So the issue for the tilapia that is being washed, well, being released, which determine whether or not they actually survive, is how long the water will actually run, which allows them to go downstream. Now, this is another channel that I'm now in. This channel, on Friday, this area was filled with water, right? Filled with water. And I got 4, right? Now, the water have actually subsided. The flow have actually stopped. And now what you have puddles, right? And you have, you know, practically dried up stream, right? Which was superficially running as a result of the release of the pond water, right? So here you might have, I'm looking to see if I see any tilapia red thing moving. I don't see any. So obviously either persons have actually collected, and not going any further. Actually, persons have actually collected them already, or they have actually died. Meaning that something have actually consume them. And let me see if I can go down a little bit more. Right? This is private property, so I am not too keen in venturing too far. Alright, so there are no signs of any tilapia in this stream. Everything have been washed downstream, and you know, this is something that some environmentalists might say that this is wrong. Some persons who, you know, look at the whole, you know, wildlife and animal rights and all them things there, right? But these fish that actually escapes through this medium escape as a result of not being caught, as a result of hiding, right? And as a result of that, they enter into the stream, which rushes into the river, which end up sometimes becoming someone else's income, because persons do catch them and actually come by the roadside or go by the fish shop and actually sell them, right? So this is an before I leave, some large fish farms overseas, they do not practice the whole idea of releasing water. They actually practice harvesting of their fish by means of netting. So they practically net just as how you net at sea. That's how they net. That's how they practice keeping their fish stock. Water is not released. Some have actually diverted water from rivers, and periodically they will release the water or open channels, secure channels, which allows water in and which allows water out. As a result of that, water is always flowing and everything is secure and clean. It's just like they are in wildlife, but it's just that they are actually being monitored, being fed, and where it means the situations are do occur, it is managed, right? So this video, paddle, streams, and dead fish, this is practically why I refer to this video like this, right? It's hope that you understand the dynamics, this dynamics of fish keeping. In my little fish space, I did a video which precludes this, which follows this, which looks at me releasing water in my yard and shares with you the possibility that some amount of fries might come out, might exit as a result of me pulling the drain, and I'm unable to actually create a drainage system, a piping system which cater to all sizes of fish, because when I'm actually harvesting my fish, it is expected that only large size fish exist within that space. So if any of those fries exist there, it would be yeah, I'll try to catch them, yes, but at the same time my main concern is to get those large ones, you know, so that I can actually consume and, you know, everything good. Thank you very much for stopping by, guys. Hope that this video interests you. Peace out. Catch you next time. Bye bye.